Hey everyone, it's Gabe from Idlewave, and it's time for a review of Izna's Set the Tempo EP. With big names like Teddy, VVN, and Kush on the credits, we can definitely expect some super nostalgic and really crisp production. Since Izna's debut, in my opinion, the defining quality of their signature sound has always been the dreamy top line, where we hear some nostalgia-inducing retro synths and super emotional, almost angsty vocals. Jungin does an amazing job of delivering those high notes that can really pierce through an instrumental. On their last mini-album, Mamma Mia, the title track, honestly missed the mark a little bit in my opinion, and failed to make use of Izna's greatest strengths. And I still strongly believe that Race Car should have been the title track on that mini-album. But that brings us to right now. With Set the Tempo, it feels like the production team is taking a step back to see exactly what makes Izna so great. So I'll be doing a track-by-track breakdown to see if Izna can deliver on the greatness that we've come to expect from them. First, and most importantly, we'll be looking at the title track Metronome. Metronome is the most danceable track of the year. Izna seamlessly blends different house elements to create something that just makes you want to move. The structural contrast in this song is incredible. The first part of the chorus gives us this hypnotic deep house rhythm that feels very sleek, which then leads to an upbeat chanting section that treats the piano almost like a drum machine. It has the classic 90s club dance vibe with a modern spin to it. And I love how the choreo reflects this shift. The deep house section gives us these rigid lines with voguing elements that fit the ballroom aesthetic perfectly. But when the piano riff hits, the choreo opens up into this much looser and more bouncy vibe. With this more dance-focused track, Izna still manages to showcase their vocals in a way that blends very well and doesn't get lost in the instruments. And I love how the last drop really doubles down on the nightclub dance energy. I think Metronome hits all the marks that Mamma Mia missed and is definitely one of the catchiest songs I've heard this year. Metronome gets a 9 out of 10. RIP is an unapologetic song which basically is about having a zero tolerance policy when it comes to messing around in a relationship. The aggressive rock and roll vibe really matches this tone really well, and RIP really maintains the up-tempo chanting vibe that we hear in Metronome, but just instead of the electronic dance elements, we get more of a gritty guitar. It doesn't quite have the dreamy atmosphere of other Izna tracks, but it has a raw type of attitude that makes it stand out in its own way. RIP gets a 7.5 out of 10. Next up is track 3, which is called Infinity. Infinity takes us right back into that signature Izna sound that I am such a huge fan of. This track is built on an 80s inspired synth sound and a super warm analog bass line that gives the song such a rich feeling. Instead of an explosive vocal chorus, we get a mid-tempo drop chorus with vocal chops that are heavily filtered to make it feel like they're a part of the instruments. Outside of the chorus, the verses and the bridge do a good job of letting Izna deliver those powerful and emotional vocals that we know that they're capable of. In my opinion, this is the type of song where Izna shines best, and Infinity gets an 8.5 out of 10. Now on to Rock, Paper, Scissors. The arrangement of this song uses a really cool contrast. The verses use a lot of higher pitched like head voice, and then the track drops you into a chorus with a much stronger focus on the deeper frequencies and this pounding Jersey club beat. Constant shifting between the light top end and the bass heavy bottom end keeps the song really interesting from start to finish. Now I do have one criticism. It's these like nursery rhyme type of rap lyrics. I feel like as a native English speaker, having lyrics like this really takes me out of the immersion of the song, and it's sometimes kind of jarring to me, but the sheer speed of the delivery makes it palatable because I can't really focus on it and it just speeds through, so it still keeps the momentum going. I'm giving Rock, Paper, Scissors a 7.75 out of 10. And finally, we close out the EP with Lean On Me. Right away, I love the rubbery bass line. All of the sounds here evoke that nostalgic 80s feel. The chorus is incredibly comforting. The vocals are delivered in a way that they kind of float on top of the drums, and as the song name suggests, it really feels like you can lean on the vocals while the drums and bass keep pushing you forward. Maybe I'm trying to be a little too poetic here, but I think Izna really nails what the song was trying to accomplish structurally and emotionally. Honestly, I think I like this song just as much as I like the title track. Lean On Me gets a 9 out of 10. This is probably the most cohesive K-pop project I've heard this entire year, with a highly consistent sound palette from beginning to end, which makes total sense when you realize there are so many of the same names on every track of this EP. I found the entire track list to be super immersive, and every song flowed pretty smoothly into the next one. So overall, I'm giving Set the Tempo an 8.5. I'm honestly very impressed by izna on this EP, and this is probably one of my favorite projects so far in 2026. But I'd love to know what you guys think of Set the Tempo. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the EP and tell me what your favorite song was. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.